everybody, and welcome to the Comedy Corner. I'm so proud. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so proud to introduce my wonderful friend, Ed Regine, who just moved here from Los Angeles because he loves Las Vegas. Right, Ed? He's worked for maybe over 40 years as a comedian, quite a veteran, with Rodney Dangerfield, Jerry Seinfeld, Jamie Foxx. And not only that, he's a sketch comic from the Jay Leno show. Remember Jay Leno and The Tonight Show? Of course. And not only that, he's a wonderful actor who's done a lot of movies and is continuing to do movies with Al Pacino, Tom Hanks, and Barbara Hershey. Please welcome my wonderful friend, Ed Regine.
Barbara Brighton, come on, let's hear from Barbara.
Hey!
Great. Hello. Oh, what a great little crowd. Now you're all looking at me thinking, oh my God, if Tony Bennett and Klinger from MASH could ever have a child, it would look like me. Well, I'm excited to be here. I got to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm the world's biggest idiot. Thank you. I know I am. Last week I was at McDonald's. I ordered from the value meal, because you can tell my career is skyrocketing. And I ordered a hamburger, fry, and Coke, came to $4.17. I look at my pocket. I got two $1 bills and a $100 bill. So I hand the kid the $100 bill, and he says, sir, I cannot take that. I got to get the manager. So the manager comes over. He says, sir, we cannot take that bill because if it shows up in our receipts, we're all fired. He said, but do me a favor. Just take the food, no charge. Lunch is on McDonald's. And get this. It works at Wendy's. It works at Burger King. A little dining tip for you folks. I am an idiot. Last week, my horoscope said, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So I'm in the supermarket, I'm wheeling 12 shopping carts. I bought a mango, $1.99 for one mango. I get to the checkout, and the lady doesn't know what it is. She picks it up, she goes, excuse me, what is this? Now, folks, trust me, honesty is the best policy, and I believe that. But sometimes something comes over me, and things just shoot out of my mouth. Because I remember seeing peaches, 69 cents a pound. So I just looked at her and said, it's a peach. Here's what she said to me, kind of a funny-looking peach. I said, well, that's why I'm buying it. I feel bad for it. So I'm leaving the supermarket. I pull out of the parking lot, I go down the side street. There's a car parked there, and I kind of brushed against my car, kind of scraped it a little bit. I totaled it is what I did. And you hit a car and there's no one around. Legal or your responsibility is to leave a note on the car you hit. How does that work? Oh, wow. I just totaled this Jaguar. Oh, look, there's not a soul around. I got to leave a note. Hey, how's it going, pal? Boy, I wish I could see the look on your face when you read this, but I'm out of here. Whee! So I'm driving away, right? I go up on the ramp to get up on the highway. I'm doing about 45, 50 miles an hour, and I noticed something. I noticed there's a ladybug out on my windshield. Now I get up on the highway, going a little faster, like 50, 55, and the ladybug is still there. Now I'm thinking to myself, I wonder how fast I'd have to go to blow her off. So I'm going, right? 60, 65, 70. Now the ladybug catches on to what's happening. She's looking through the window at me like, I ain't going nowhere. 75, 80, 85. Now she's showing off. She's on three legs like 90 miles an hour in a 65 mile an hour zone. I'm pulled over by a state trooper and he's furious. Comes right up to the car. He's like, what's the hurry? Because I was trying to get a ladybug off my windshield. Swear to God, here's what he said to me. Why didn't you put the wipers on? Because that's cheating. He said, I got to write you up. So he goes back to his car. As he does, the ladybug jumps from my windshield onto his. Then he comes back, he hands me the summons. He's like, okay, get out of here. A minute later, he comes flying by me 100 miles an hour. I'm like, you go, girl. I am an idiot. But I'm a happy idiot because I'm not alone. See, I know there's millions more out there, and we may have a few right here in this room. Let me check. Anybody ever try to start your car when it was already running? Oh, look, we got a mirror. And the car knows it, right? Because it makes that noise. You ever been in your car, stopped at a red light, there's a bus or a truck alongside of it, it starts rolling, and you swear you're going backwards? Right? And you freak out people in the car, like, what are you doing? I don't know, I can't stop. And not only do we do stupid things, we're constantly saying stupid things. It's amazing what comes out of people's mouths. Last week, my friend said this to me. He said, hey, I quit smoking cold turkey. What does that mean? I never had a guy say to me, I stopped drinking frozen fish. Do you ever tell a guy's wearing a nice suit or a sport jacket? What does he do every time? He'll open it up and show you the label. You notice that? It's like, hey, nice suit. Oh, you mean this here? Yeah, thanks a lot. You never see a woman do that. Hey, nice skirt. Oh, you mean this thing here? Okay, once in a while, but not enough. Anyways, I come up with an idea to stop people from saying stupid things because I say it's out of control, and I say here's how we do it. I say we all get up in the morning and we get an allotment of 10 marbles. You know, little round things you play when you're a kid, you get 10 of them. And every time you say something stupid, you have to give one away. Then when you have no marbles left, you cannot say another word till the next day when you get 10 new ones. Thank you, 2 people. The rest of you thinking, I won't be able to leave the house. Trust me, folks, it's out of control. Last week, my friend said this to me. He said, hey, looks like the sun's trying to come out. The sun's trying to come out? Like the sun's in the sky doing this? No, the sun's not trying to come out. It's been out for 4 billion years. There's clouds in front of it. You're an idiot. Give me a marble. Do you ever have someone tell you something, then they do this? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? No, I can't see what you're saying. Can you hear what I'm seeing? Idiots. My friend actually said this to me. He said, hey, man, I'm letting my hair grow. Like he could stop it if he wanted to. See him looking in the mirror going, that's long enough. And here's a true story. My friend just moved from New York to Phoenix, Arizona. He owns 2 parrots. He paid $600 in airline tickets to put the parrots on an airplane and fly them from New York to Phoenix. I say that's 7 marbles. Well, come on, folks. They're birds. Think of what he did. He paid to put birds on an airplane. How many of you would pay to take your fish on a cruise? A couple of people back there. All right. I thought I'd have some fun. I said, why don't you just have them follow the plane? He freaked out. He's like, oh, what if they got lost? I'm like, they're parrots. They could ask for directions. Right? When you love to see that, a parrot flying to a gas station. We're going to get to Phoenix. Ah, ah, ah. I was packing to go on a trip. My friend's watching me. I got the suitcase where the 2 zippers meet. I zip it up, and he goes, hey, where's your padlock? I said, I don't use those. He said, why don't you do what I do? I said, what's that? He said, I use those little twist ties. Yeah, I'm thinking, boy, there's a crime deterrent right there. Because I could picture a couple of bad guys at the airport going, hey, why don't we grab that bag over there? What are you, nuts? Can't you see it's got twist ties? We'd never get in there. Besides, you probably got all their jewelry in a Ziploc bag. Forget about it. I mentioned the airlines were up and flying again. Certain things, you can't bring on the plane. But it's just idiots. The whole thing is idiots. Like 37,000 feet in the air recently, I was flying with 37,000 feet in the air, and there were idiots on the plane. I'm flying New York to L.A. nonstop. Halfway through the flight, guy sitting next to me, hadn't said a word, finally leans over and says, so, you going to L.A.? No, I'm ejecting over Montana, you idiot. And the flight attendant, I'm sitting in my seat. She comes down the aisle. She says, sir, we're going to need your seat in the upright position for takeoff. Is that going to save me? We slamming a mountain at 500 miles an hour. Is this going to save my life? Of course not. And then they start the speeches, right? Today our captain is Captain John Dawson. Who cares? I don't know who that is. Just get the plane down safe. Next time they do that, I'm going to freak the whole plane out and go, no, not Dawson! Ah! Then she said, most of our flight is going to take place over water, so that your seat cushion may be used as a flotation device. Well, I got news. I know the plane's going to hit the ocean at 500 miles an hour. I don't think anyone's going to want to use my seat cushion for a flotation device. And pretty much at that point, it's a Huggies. And I'm sitting in my seat, minding my own business. Again, she comes down the aisle. She looks at me. She goes, trash. Hey, you don't know me. That's why you notice at some point during the flight, you see the flight attendants go sit in the back of the plane and they never say another word. You know why? They're out of marbles. And the pilots, I love the pilots, but you ever have a pilot do this? From the cockpit, this is your captain speaking. Where else should he be? Am I going to get on someday and hear this? This is your captain. Guess where I am? And for a while there, the pilots are using stun guns. They're trying to get the real guns. I say take the stun guns and give them to the flight attendants. You get that little kid that's been screaming for 2.5 hours. No one can quiet him down. Just have the flight attendant go over. Let me see if I could settle him down a little. Oh, look, he's sleeping now. Idiots. And out of that, we get information fed to us. Like, don't, folks? No, I don't care where you go, what you do, you'll get information fed to you like you're an idiot. I was in a department store, saw a warning label on a baby stroller. Remove baby before folding. Do you ever notice how they put the word ambulance backwards on the ambulance, so when you look in the rearview mirror, it's the right way? Would they not know if it's the other way? Would we think they think we're too stupid to figure that out? Would there be people driving going, honey, there's a big van behind us with flashing lights and sirens. What do you think that could be? Oh, let me check. It's an eknulubma. The guy back there is going, B-U. I bought some nasal mist out of the bottle. Insert nozzle in nostril and squeeze. Well, thank you. You know, because for years I was doing this. How about this one? Apply to affected area only. Like, where else would I put it? Like, hey, man, what's that on your forehead? Oh, it's Preparation H. And nobody told me where to put it. Do you ever see this on a product? May contain. Right? Like they're not sure what's in there. What are there, a couple of idiots at the factory going, hey, Joey, did you put all the ingredients in there? Hey, I don't remember. All right, just put may contain. Don't worry about it, right? Idiots. So what else can I tell you, folks? I'm married. Sorry, ladies. Yeah, my husband, wow. Not quite. My wife is great, but she loses marbles constantly. Loves to go to the movies, won't pay the money for the popcorn. We'll bring our own, which I hate because I got to carry the microwave, the extension cord. She wanted a new vacuum cleaner. I took it to Best Buy. I'm like, here's one over here. She goes, no, I want one with a headlight. I'm like, what do you need a headlight for? She said, what if I'm vacuuming at night and the power goes out? All of them. We went to Plymouth Rock. I don't know if you've been there. Anybody been to Plymouth Rock? Raise your hand. You've been? Just so you know what I'm talking about. And it was the first time we ever been there, right? I was working in the area, so we decided to take a day trip to Plymouth Rock. And we get there, and I'm looking around for this ginormous rock, and I can't find it anywhere. Finally, the guy said, no, it's down there. And I'm like, I got this look on my face, and my wife is like, now what's wrong? I don't know. I said, you know when you expect to see something for the first time, you think it's going to be really big, and you see it, and it's really little? You know what she said? Welcome to my world. So she said, we're going to go to our girlfriend's house. We're going to go to our girlfriend's house. Saturday night, we're going to have dinner. Sunday's her birthday party. So we drive there. We get there. Saturday night, we're all sitting around the dinner table. And the lady of the house said, excuse me, can anybody help me? I have these deer that come on my property and eat my roses. My wife goes, I think I know what to do. I said, will you be quiet? She said, no, I read this. You put human hair on it. So she convinces all of us to cut a little bit of our hair off and go out and sprinkle it on the roses. 4 o'clock in the morning, I woke out of a dead sleep. All I could hear was... Then we get in this little argument. And I said to her, do you even know what the word wife means? She says, yeah, with idiot forever. Oh, thank you. She pulled this one on me. This was happening like a few nights ago. We're in bed, it's 10 o'clock. She goes, honey, I don't know what it is, but I got this feeling like I want to make love till the sun comes up. So I grabbed my phone, I hit the weather app. It said sunrise, 6:47. I said, all right, set the alarm for 6:45. And I almost made it. I was on the road about 2-3 weeks ago, and I'm leaving, and my wife says, honey, before you leave, why don't we run upstairs and make love? I said, babe, I can't do both. So I flew back to Vegas, and it was a really nice flight. It was smooth to get to cruising altitude, you know. And then all of a sudden, things started happening. Like the plane started like dipping, you know. It felt like it was dipping, and then it felt like it was climbing, and then it was going from side to side, and then it was going down and then up, and the engines were getting louder, and it was moving this way and that way. And then finally, the pilot came on. He said, this is your captain. I'd like to apologize for the rough ride, but I'm trying to get this ladybug off my windshield. tell him, put the wipers on. So what else? I got to get off my chest. A couple more things that I want to know, because there's things I want to know, and I don't know if you guys are like this, but the things I want to know. For example, I want to know if you take a zebra and drag him across a price scanner, what would happen? I want to know if a group of Native Americans show up at a restaurant and they're asked if they have a reservation. What do they say? Oh, we got some Native Americans. I want to know, is it possible to fly Virgin Airlines more than once? I got to get out of here, but before I go, I'm going to tell you what's really been bugging me now is these prescription drug ads on TV with the wacky side effects. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Oh, yeah, you know the ones that's like, may cause sudden death. I do want to get rid of this headache. There's a product to get rid of the flu called Tamiflu. It has 2 side effects, dizziness and vomiting. Now, I'm no doctor, but isn't that the flu? Even Viagra has a side effect. Loss of vision. Can you see some guy naked, all excited, walking around his bedroom going, Marco. His wife's under the bed, Polo. And I read this in the paper. There was a couple that were trying to have a baby and they couldn't, so the husband started taking this product called Levitra, and they got pregnant. They had a baby girl, and they were so excited they named her Levitra. Isn't that weird? That is so weird. In fact, I was telling my son Heineken, hey, you guys have been a great crowd. Enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you very much.
Well, everybody, our next comic, and I hope you're enjoying today, because we do need to laugh, don't we? My next friend is a veteran of over 40 years in the business as well, and he came to fame because of Eddie Murphy on Saturday Night Live. He's done so many wonderful things. He's a very unique man and a very funny guy. And Joan Rivers has called him the lovable madman. Let's meet Frankie Pace.
Barbara Brighton, let's hear it from her. Well, I'm looking here. We're a lot of pretty ladies here. There's no ugly woman. There any women that are ugly? Raise your hands. See? No ugly. My neighbor is not too good. She's not a good dresser and stuff, but she's kind of weird. She doesn't know how to wear makeup. She wears like circular makeup. You ever see that? Makeup that ends here, like a mime kabuki. How does she do that? She take the compact, put it on a bureau, and how do I look? Bow wow. Big lashes, blinking away. People in the street. But she's trying to be young, She's 85 and she's wearing leather pants like a 25-year-old, Pants are very tight, and God, when she walks and she's sweating, you could hear it. It's like, I mean, there were seagulls following her. But she had a nice walk. All women have a nice walk. It's like God gives them that gift, It's like God's like, hey, baby, I'm going to give you the walk.
Well, thank you, God.
And I'm looking at her and saying, for 85, she got a good walk. How the hell does she walk like that? She's so demure. She's so graceful. She glides across the room. Then my grandfather yells out, she got no testicles. Plenty of room down there, which is scaring me because I'm walking too good here. So let me say hello to the Catholics. Any Catholics out there? Anyway, I was with my grandson recently, and he wanted to go to the circus, but they don't have the circus anymore. They got Cirque du Soleil and all this other stuff. So I like the circus. You remember the circus at all? Yeah. So for the people that don't know where the circus is, I'm going to do the circus for you right now. Take you down memory lane. There's a little kid on a roof in Brooklyn. Tony, you get Channel 7 yet? There's a guy really drunk out of his mind. Hey, that was a great shot with the stapling gun. Oh, there you go. Sorry. Welcome to Walmart. And my favorite, Miami Beach. Come here, baby. I did that one night. 5 ladies followed me home. So, can you do me a favor? Can you take this bomb to the airport for me? Some people want to be president of the United States. Some people want to be astronauts, go to the moon. Me, I want to be a cow. Well, half a cow. Me. It's great to be a cow. You lay in the grass all day, you relax, and people play with your udders. Yes, moo, moo, moo. Holy cow. French cow. Moi. Russian cow. You have no milk. Indian cow. You can't kill me. I am God. Puerto Rican cow. Hey, baby. Black cow. Say moo. Brooklyn cow. Yo, moo. What are you, stupid or something? Mad rhino. Go to hell. Depressed rhino. I'm not chasing no more Jeeps. There's a drunk walking out of a Red Lobster. I'm stuffed. Dun, 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 dun. Hi, Sid. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, what have we got in here? Oh, this is my impression of an idiot trying to rob a bank. You're right, this is a stick-up. I don't want anybody to move. You understand me? Nobody move. You're not open yet? No, I could wait. Joey, shut off the clock. Hello, welcome to the undersea world of Jacques Cousteau. We're about 185 feet under the water, and oh look, it's Jimmy Hoffa. I love your shoes. What do we got? This too busy. Well, Louise, you're not getting pregnant tonight. Oh, come on, Anthony. Throw the ball to Grandpa. Come. I love my grandfather. He loved to chase women, though. It was pathetic. You know, I mean, the cops came to the house one day. Well, Mr. Pace, we have to take your grandfather downtown. He's been chasing and harassing the ladies. I said, you're kidding. No, he's chasing and harassing the ladies. He's 95. He's got a walker. What does he do, a mile an hour? Well, he got 4 today. How the hell did he do that? He's using a stun gun. I go in the kitchen, he's dancing like a 20-year-old. I was shocked. I said, my God, I wish I could dance like that. Then Grandma came in. It's his pacemaker. Shut off the microwave. He was putting up an antenna on the roof. He got struck by lightning, right? Took him to the hospital, and I went over there. And doctor says, this is amazing. He says, he's got an erection. It's huge, and it's going to last about a week. I said, you're kidding. Yeah, it lasted a week. And on the 7th day, Grandma had him back up on the roof. Come on, hit me, baby, hit me. He's crazy. He took 6 Viagra, ended up in the ceiling. Let's see what we got on here. Oh. מדבר סודי כדי הורדו סינקו סיקודירה מן כדי מיאמי ביץ'. You okay, Rocky? Yeah, just a minor head wound. Rocky 1, Adrian. Rocky 2, Adrian. Rambo, Adrian. Oh, there we go. What's this? Oh. Let's see. Now it's time for sumo wrestling. Shimudo! Oh, no fight today. No fight today. I like Japanese people. Well, because they're my height. Yeah, I got mugged in Japan. You know that? 2:30 in the morning, guy mugged me. I had to go to the police, you know. They're like, what did he look like? I said, he looked like you. Harvey Firestein, remember him? Harvey Firestein. Can you imagine him as Little Red Riding Hood? Harvey Firestein. So I was walking through the woods. Oh my God. This animal jumps out of the bushes. He says, I'm the wolf, I'm going to eat you. I looked at him, I said, brush your teeth. He says, you think you're pretty? I said, I know I'm pretty. I know because when I walk through the woods, squirrels see me. They stand up and they drop their nuts. There, a lot of stuff in here. Oh, come to my bedroom, Avita. You know I love you. I kept my promise. You gave me herpes. Nobody's perfect. You know I love you. Yeah, but you got herpes. I have all your money. Night on Bald Mountain. So you're from the Middle East? Oh, are you from the West? Oh, you're not from the West, so you're from the South. North? Oh, so you're from the East. Oh, what's your name? Tony. Push, Miss Hernandez. Come on, you can do it. Push. No way. Let's see what other crap I got in here. There was something else in this thing. Try to fix it before. I think I broke it. Is it? Ah, crap. I think I broke it.
Frankie. Oh, Frankie. What are you doing? What is that?
So I'm married, happily married. My wife's going to college now. She's taking up a course of psychology to find out why we're married. We had a nice honeymoon. We went to the islands. You ever been to the islands? Yeah. You go take a non-smoking flight. Captain comes out. Hey, man. Today we're going to go backwards. Who wants to drive? And never go there during hurricane season. I went there and I walked up to the desk. I said, excuse me, where's my hotel? Hey, man, don't worry about your hotel. It's coming in on the next wave. But they're cool people. They don't care. Nothing bothers them. Nothing. But they told me, don't go in a reggae bar because you'll get high. I didn't believe them, you know. So I went in there. I got high. I knew I was high because I was smoking some guy's dreadlocks. Oh, yeah. I spent $150 on a $9 T-shirt. But I got a Bob Marley shirt, so I was kind of happy. You know, Bob Marley was the hero of Jamaica. But it must have been a cheap shirt because it rained and Bob left. But they don't care. Nothing bothers them. I went to get my luggage at the airport, right? I'm the only one there waiting for my luggage, and a body bag passes me on a carousel. The cop is standing right there. I said, "Officer, what the hell is this?" He's like, "I don't know, man. It's 3 days now. Nobody wants to claim him." I said, "That's terrible." "Yeah, man, he's stinking up the place, too." I said, "What are you going to do about it?" "Well, Monday, he's going to get a ticket." Oh, my God. This, oh, it's Miss Piggy. Remember Miss Piggy? "Kermie, what do you think of me? What do you really think of me?" You're a pig. There's a young Italian couple married 2 weeks. "Louise, did you cook this spaghetti?" "Doc, I can't pay my bill." First man sneezing in space. "Hello, Houston, we have a problem." Has anybody been to Hawaii? Same amount of people who went to the circus. No, I like Hawaii. In fact, I think I could take you to Hawaii because it's not that hard. You need one of these babies. So one of these. You think there's a little too much lipstick? "Lucy, what you do to your face?" Anyway, get one of these, baby. Now you need a little music, you know. "Hello, my name is Don Ho. This is my son, Yoho. We live in the Ho house." Ho, 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 ho. No, what makes Hawaii beautiful is you got to have the waves, right? So it's nighttime, the moon's out, you got the waves coming in, palm trees swaying, you're sitting on the beach looking at the waves coming in. Got a beautiful sound, you know. It's like a... Welcome to beautiful Elizabeth, New Jersey. You know what's sad? I can walk around like this in New York City and nobody cares. It could be a police car too, right? What the hell are you talking about? Before I go, how many people like football? I know there's a lot of ladies here. Okay, 2 people, same amount of people who went to the circus. Okay. Football, I like football. This is crazy. Football, yeah, so let me take you, referee just freaks out on the field. You never saw that, so this is what happens. Hey, thanks a lot. You've been a great crowd. Thank you very much. Thank you.
It is now my distinct pleasure to bring up your next act. This is Florida's answer to Joan Rivers before the surgery. But we got her here today, and she's marvelous. She's wonderful. She's so talented. So please welcome Miss Barbara Brighton.
Thank you, Ed. How about a hand for Ed Regine? Well, can we talk here? Can we talk? Talk to me. Audience, can we talk? After $100,000 worth of collagen, silicone, Botox, and Restylane, I've had a boob job, a nose job, an eye job, a tummy tuck, liposuction, and laser. Underneath all that nipping and tucking and pulling and gripping and slipping and slicing, I found Michael Jackson's first nose. I'm trying to grow old gracefully. It's not easy, right, girls? Do you remember when you had a perfect body? How many girls remember? Remember when your bust line was fabulous? Remember when your waistline was perfect? Now my bust line is my waistline. And the only good thing about a sagging bust is it pulls the wrinkles out of your face. Did you hear the story about the woman who had a heart attack and she was taken to a hospital, and on the operating table she saw God and she said, "How much time do I have to live?" God said, "You have another 43 years, 3 days, and 2 months to live." So she figured she might as well make the most of it. So she had a breast enhancement, she had a boob job, she had an eye job, she had a tummy tuck, she had liposuction, she even changed her hair color. After the last operation, she was released from the hospital, and on her way home, she was crossing the street, she was killed by an ambulance. So she looked up and she said to God, "God, you told me I had another 43 years. Why did you pull me out of the path of the ambulance?" God said, "To tell you the truth, I didn't recognize you." But I'm not going to get a vaginal rejuvenation at my age. No, because the only person interested in getting inside my vagina is my probate lawyer, because it's where I hide my really good jewelry. You sound familiar? You girls do that too, right? Okay, so I heard this great story. This woman is at home alone, and there's a knock on her door. And there's a gentleman there, and he says, "Pardon me, ma'am, do you have a vagina?" She's disgusted, so of course she slams the door in his face. The next day he comes back again. It's the same guy. He's asking her, "Do you have a vagina?" Again, she slams the door in his face. What kind of a man is this? It's disgusting. On the third day, her husband comes home, and she says to him about this guy that's coming around. He says, "I'm going to hide behind the door." And in a loving and concerned voice, he said to her, "I want you to answer yes if he asks you the same question." So she says, "Okay." So on the third day, of course, the guy comes back again. "Pardon me, ma'am, do you have a vagina?" She said, "Yes." Then he says, "Good, would you mind telling your husband to start using yours and leave my wife's alone?" What a great audience. You must have met this guy, right? I'm into dating. Anybody else into dating there? Because I'm a singling. I tried all the singles bars, but all the guys I meet are so young, they think World War II is the name of a rock group. Then I finally meet somebody more my age. I got to catch him between his last divorce and his first reincarnation. Oh, it's ridiculous, right? But I did try a dating site, because there's lots of dating sites. I tried facelift.com. Why are you laughing? Facebook didn't work for me. You have to create a profile, girls, right? So I said, that's the first thing you have to do. So I said, I have Angelina Jolie's lips, Suzanne Summers' thighs, Sophia Loren's eyes, and Sharon Stone's crotch. Well, I have basic instincts. Guess who answered my ad? The two gay Mike Douglas? That would be nice. He's married to a beautiful woman, though, Catherine Zeta-Jones, right? What would he want with me, right? Okay, so guess who answered my ad? The two gay cowboy stars from Brokeback Mountain. Remember that show, right? They walked up to a bar, and the bartender asked, "What do you have?" They said, "A stiff one," and I went home. Very depressing. Maybe I should create another profile. What do you think? What do you think? Maybe? Yeah? Okay. Are there any Jewish cowgirls out there? Anybody? One Jewish cowgirl? Because, no, listen to this. They have their own love song. Are you ready? Get it up, get it in, get it out. Don't mess my hair, do. my kind of crowd. Thank you. Oh, God, aging. Should we talk about aging? I hate to talk about aging. I heard on TV, the first to go is your memory. I forgot the other two. Okay, are there any older guys out there? I see a lot of women. Are there any older guys? Raise your hand. Because you got to be careful when you date an older man, girls. They never tell you the truth. A friend of mine was dating an older guy once. He never told her he was wearing a hearing aid. She stuck her tongue in his ear and was electrocuted. Then I was dating another older guy who kissed me and gave me a hickey and left his teeth in my neck. Then I was dating another older guy who was deaf and he wasn't great in bed, so I had to hold up cue cards. He was deaf. He was nearsighted too. Don't joke. Then I was dating another older guy who was 90 into hip hop and heavy metal. It was very embarrassing. So I told him to act his age. And he died. I need a younger guy. Shall I go out with a younger guy? What do you think? Oh, for sure. One of my friends went to the dentist to have his tooth pulled, and the dentist went to get him a shot of Novocaine, you know. So he said, don't give me any needles. I can't stand needles. So then the dentist said, what about a mask? Can you wear a mask? Don't put a mask on me. I'll suffocate. Well, the dentist said, what about a pill? Can you take a pill? The guy said, yeah, I can take a pill. So the dentist went out and got him a Viagra, Levitra, and Cialis pill. He said, Viagra? I didn't know you could use this for pain. The dentist said, you can't, but I'll give you something to hold on to when I pull your tooth. What an audience. Shall we talk about sex? Can we talk about sex? My favorite subject. Two guys were talking. One said to the other, how's your sex life? The other guy said, nothing special. I'm having Social Security sex. Social Security sex? What's that? He said, not much. I get a little each month, but not enough to live on. I said, I'd rather get a stimulus check. So later that night, this woman is going to the therapist, and she says, Doctor, I'm having a problem. He says, what's the problem? She says, every night my husband and I make love just before he gets ready to climax. He lets out an ear-splitting yell. The doctor said, that's natural. What's the problem? She says, the problem is it wakes me up. Oh, like you don't know what I'm talking about, right? So later that night, they're making fabulous love, okay? And the husband turns to the wife and he says, honey, how come you never tell me when you have an orgasm? She says, you're never there. I hear groans out there. Really? Okay, God. And now for a subject we all hate, politics. Remember when Bill Clinton and Jesse Jackson were friends? Think back, it was just a few short years ago. Well, they're standing at the urinal. Bill looks over to Jesse. He says, Jesse, you're in such great shape. How do you manage to stay in such great shape? Jesse says, it's very simple. When I get ready for bed, I just take it out and knock it 3 times on the side of the bedpost. Bill said, that's all? Jesse said, that's it. So Bill said, I think I'll try it. So later that night, as he's getting ready for bed, he takes it out, knocks it 3 times on the side of the bedpost. Hillary wakes up and she said, is that you, Jesse? Politics. Thank you.
Welcome to Vegas Beyond the Strip. I'm Sam Shockley, and I am so thrilled to have this woman on our stage. This is Barbara Brighton. She has been all over the Strip. She's had marquees with her name on it. She's worked at Caesar's Palace. welcome and thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a long time coming.
I
and
love
we're so
this.
thrilled to have you.
Thank you. The studio's gorgeous.
Thank you.
I have two questions for you. Why is your name Susan and Sam? Which one are you?
Susan April Maestri. My initials spell Sam.
Oh. Did you get that?
That's not the reaction I normally get.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Okay, I want to go back. Where are you from originally?
Boston, Massachusetts.
Boston?
Yes.
They don't have a sense of humor in Boston.
Well, I don't know how to answer that
you
question.
sucked it all up and
No.
you took it with you.
I left when I was 13, and I took my stage name from Brighton, Massachusetts, because it was cheerful and happy, and that's what I wanted to be before I went into show business. Cheerful.
So you knew at 13 you wanted to be
Yeah.
a comedian,
No, a singer.
a singer.
So we moved to Florida when I was 13. And then I went to high school and college there. And then New York, 10 years. I did Broadway for 10 years.
My
I shouldn't
God.
say I did it like I was in jail for 10 years. Well, I was auditioning. It was like being in jail. They ask you to do 16 bars, Things look swell. Things look great. Thank you. And you never get a job. Right? That's showbiz.
Yeah, I guess it is.
But fortunately, I got a couple along the way.
What jobs did you get?
On Broadway, I did How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying.
Oh my goodness.
And that was my favorite show. It was a Bob Fosse show. He had to sing, dance, and act. And of course, I got the comedy part. My favorite show in the whole world. Unsinkable Molly Brown. Damn Yankees with Van Johnson.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a story in itself. We were backstage. I was at the Colony Summer Theater in Latham, New York. And he was swearing. I said, hi, VJ. He says, the last person to call me that was Peter Lawford. And I went, I'm talking to Van Johnson. I'm calling him VJ. What do I know? I'm 21 years old, And he was swearing like a sailor. And I thought, he's a big movie star. He's swearing. But, he could do that. He's Van Johnson. So then I did Sugar, which is the story of, let's see. Sugar. It was in the movies with Marilyn Monroe, and I played the orchestra
Some Like
leader.
It Hot.
That's it. Some Like It Hot. Thank you very much.
You're
Sarah.
welcome.
I'm getting old. Okay. So I did.
Never.
That was my background, Broadway, and then I went to the mountains and did all the major nightclubs in the mountains, and then Australia, Japan, South America, cruises for 30 years.
Oh my God.
And now I'm on Vegas Beyond the Strip.
Oh, to the top. Now,
Thank you. What?
what brought you to Las Vegas?
Well, it's a really good story. In 1972, I was in Florida, and my father had a store called Barron's in Bell Harbor, and he sold clothes. He managed this very upscale clothes shop, and he played my tape for everybody and anybody that would listen. I had no idea this was going on because I was traveling. I was in Aruba, Curacao, whatever, and he played it for the owners of Caesar's Palace because they were his clients. Mel Chasen, yeah, he was the original owner, and Cliff Perlman. And they said, okay, we'll buy her. I didn't even know what they were talking about because I was traveling. So I got this call about a year later to do Caesar's Palace. And I went, is this a joke? Are you serious? No. And then I thought I had to get an agent. I hired an agent because I thought he'd get me more money, more jobs. Nothing like that happened. But yeah, I did. So then I did the job at Cleopatra's Barge with Harry Belafonte in the main room.
Oh,
And I went up every night to the showroom to see Harry's show. Every single night without fail. Even though I did 5 shows on my own, the guy was a monster. I loved him. He was so good. And then everybody came down to see me in the lounge. And it was my beginning, 1972.
and at that time you were Bobby.
Yes, I was. Good, you remember. Yeah, I was. I changed it later on when I was in Los Angeles because I was there doing a soap opera called General Hospital for 3 years.
Oh my God, nobody's ever heard of
no.
General Hospital.
I was the intensive care nurse. Half the time I was in intensive care waiting to get the call, right? So I had a producer. At that time, it was hard to get an acting gigs are really hard in Los Angeles. So I was like at my wit's end, what do I do now? So I watched all the talk shows like Phil Donahue and with Sally Jesse Raphael and Oprah. And I said, I want to do that. I really did. I was inspired. What did I know? And I found out it was the best thing I ever did. And I meditated before the show and went on and did the show and did that for 3 years in Los Angeles called the Barbara Brighton Show. And,
We still haven't gotten to
where are we?
living in Las Vegas.
Oh. Okay, so then I moved back and forth from California to Florida when I thought I was going to retire. Then I moved back to California. Then I moved back to Florida, and I went back and forth. It was so ridiculous. And the last time, I thought it was the end of my career, that I was going to retire. So I rented a condo I also had a condo for 14 years in Aventura. That's when I was living in Miami. But this particular time, I was living in another location. And after a year, we were at the pool, and everybody was on their walkers and canes and doing all kinds of things. And I said, I got to change my residence. I can't stand it. What am I doing here? Oh, I really, honest to God, that's how I felt. So my lease was up, and I was booked 2 times at Sam's Town and Suncoast for Ed Matthews. And when I was here doing those shows, I said, I should move here. This is the entertainment capital. I got to be here. So I found a place to live, and I moved here. 8 years ago, I decided to
Just 8 years ago?
Yes. But I've been back and forth for years. We're appearing. Yeah.
We've
but I
been
moved
here the same amount of time.
2014 is when I moved here.
I feel like I need to really learn about Vegas, so I listen to books one after the other after the other to find out who's who and what's what.
Yeah.
And I love your Facebook. Be her Facebook friend.
Thank you.
She puts up the cutest Facebooks, and then she puts her marquees up. And
I got nothing else to do, Sam.
it's nice. It's nice to know the famous people like yourself.
I'm not. I'm just a working performer.
Oh, yes. Last Thursday, she was on the Dennis Bono show, singing her heart out and being adorable as you always are.
I still have passion.
Yes.
You know, it doesn't matter how old you are. I think it's in your heart. And you just keep going like you're 24. Nobody knows the difference, and I don't know the difference. They announce my name, and I'm on.
There you go.
Then afterwards, I crack up, you know. But that's what happens. That's show people. That's the way we are.
Well, I'm absolutely thrilled that you came and you did this. This is our first comedy show, and Barbara orchestrated this whole thing for us.
I hope it was good.
It was incredible. I had more fun than a barrel of monkeys.
Good.
Thank you so much for being here. I love you to death.
Thank you, Sam. Me too.
We are so excited to have Ed Regine. Me.
Close enough.
It may or may not have an I at the end. We're not sure.
We don't know for sure. It's hearsay from Italy, but
Welcome.
thank you. It is such a pleasure to be here. I'm so excited. This was awesome. It was great.
I am
Thank you for
so
having me.
thrilled to have you. I hope you don't mind
You can whack away.
Now, where are you from originally?
Originally from a little place called Providence, Rhode Island. And I know you said Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. I
Yeah.
don't know any comic from Rhode Island.
Well, I'm probably the first one you'll ever meet.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
probably the last.
And now, from there, what inspired you to do what you do for a living now? Because you do it so well.
I always wanted to be a comedian. I would sit on the floor watching the old comics, Milton Berle, Jack Benny, George Burns, Jackie Gleason.
I did too, but it didn't translate to me.
So I said, I want to do that. I can do that. I want to do that. So, pardon me. And I want to do. I got a Cracker Jack stuck right here. So you might have to do a little editing here. So I always wanted to be a comedian. I would sit on the floor, watch all these old comedians, Milton Berle, George Burns, Jack Benny, all of the guys, and Steve Allen. And I said, I can do that. I want to do that. That's what I'm going to do. But it never happened for me. It never happened. I never pursued it as I got older.
Well, you were sitting on the floor.
Right,
You
right.
got to get out of the house
Right,
to do
but
it.
but for some kids, a dream stays with them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's their dream and it's their passion and it stays with them. For me, it was there. And then being from Providence, Rhode Island, where am I going to do this? How can I ever be a comedian here? There's nothing here.
Well, how
really.
did you do it?
Well, strangely enough, I was in the car business for 12 years, and my partner in the business, his brother was having a bachelor party. He's getting married. So he said, why don't you come to the bachelor? I said, I don't go to those things. I don't like those things. He said, no. We hired 2 comedians from a local comedy club that just opened up in downtown Providence. You got to come. You make everybody laugh. Reluctantly, I said, okay.
Yeah, you
So
can
we-
come for free.
Right? So I get there, right? And the first guy was a juggler and comic, and he finished, he left. The second guy was sort of like a poor man's Don Rickles. He would talk to the crowd and try to, heckle the crowd and so forth. So he picked on me, and we went back and forth a little bit in the crowd. All my friends were laughing, and the show was over. So now he's at the bar having a soft drink. And I went over to him, and I said something to him that changed my life. My life completely changed when I said to him, and I didn't have any motive or reason why I said it. It just came out. I said, I always wanted to be a comedian. And that was it. And I thought he was going to say, well, you should try it. It's good. Good luck. No, he said, no, I have a little club in town. He said, if you want to get on stage and try it, he said, Thursday night, every Thursday night, he said, I'm booked this Thursday, but if you come the following Thursday, I'll put you up for 5 minutes. So I didn't have any material. What am I going to say? So I kind of have a big nose, right? So I said, so I'll make fun of my nose. I said, I can't go to the beach. I float on my back. People yell shark, stuff like that. It's great having a nose like this. I only have to breathe twice a day. It's so, and that's what I came up with. And I did about 2 minutes and I was done. I never made it to 5 minutes. I did 2 minutes. And I'm like, oh my God, phew, this was.
But they laughed.
What a rush. Yeah, I got laughs on the nose jokes. And what a rush it was, So he's standing over there and I get off stage. He said, well, what do you think? I said, boy, that's tougher than I thought it was going to be. I said, I kind of lost track and I only had those jokes. He said, you looked comfortable up there. He said, you want to come back next week? I said, yeah, of course. And I did that. And 4 months later, I got my first paid gig.
Wow.
And from there, I became a big fish in a small pond. I was sort of the king of comedy in Rhode Island. And so I moved to Boston, and Boston was a hotbed of comedy. So I started doing comedy there.
It was.
Yes, it was. Oh, yeah. Lenny Clark. Have you heard of these people? Lenny Clark, Don Gavin, Steve Sweeney, all these guys. Fabulous comedians. Fabulous. Stephen Wright from Boston. Who else? Don Gavin, all these guys. So I'm working with these legends in Boston, and I'm cutting my teeth and I'm going and I'm going and going. Started headlining over these guys because it was just exploding for me. And then I moved to New York. I had an apartment with my manager, who at the time was Barry Katz, and I shared an apartment with Louis C.K.
Whoa.
Yeah. Nick DiPaolo was there. Who else? Tony Clark, Anthony Clark, who had a sitcom. So the 4 of us, it was 5 of us, and we shared it. It was $1,000 a month. It was 400 square feet. So it was a crash pad. We would just go,
my
and we
gosh.
do all the New York clubs when we were in town. So as being a big fish in Boston, I was headlining all the time at the Comedy Connection. So one night, the manager of the Comedy Connection said, "Did you ever think about doing cruise ships?" I said, not really. I never. He said, I think you'd be great on cruise ships. He said, here's the number of an agent. Why don't you give her a call? And I think you'd be fabulous. So I called her and she said, send me a tape. So I sent the tape and I waited about a month or two and I called her and no answer. She wouldn't take my call. Another month or two, she wouldn't take my call. Finally, after about 6 months, I said, I'm going to give her one more shot. So I called her and she picked up the phone and, oh, hi, Ed. I'm like, she looked at my tape. She had to look at my tape to say, oh, hi, Ed. She said, I saw your tape and I think it's wonderful. We have to meet in New York. I met with her. I signed a 3-year contract and I started doing cruise ships as well as stand up on land. So I was doing both. And then in Boston, I was doing movies. I did The Mouse. I did Celtic Pride. I did a bunch of movies.
A movie star.
Yeah, no. Not far from. But, and that's how it started to blossom. And then I said, well, I love this acting thing as well. Let me see if I could take this acting thing and comedy and bring it to the West Coast. So I moved to California. And I was doing 2 weeks on ships and I was doing 2 weeks pushing for acting. And I got the Tonight Show at Jay Leno. I was a sketch comic. I did 15 or 16 episodes. It was right after 9/11 because he did this Dancing Ito's, the Judge Ito, and then he started having characters come on. So I would come on as like a terrorist or one of these.
Oh,
So there were sketches like there'd be two FBI guys at the airport, and I would get off the plane and I'd have a sign. You know, people have signs.
Yep,
I'd have
yep.
terrorist, and they go, oh, okay. So we did a whole bunch of them. We did 15 or 16. I would have done more, but sometimes when Scott Atwell, the casting director for The Tonight Show, would call me, I would be on a ship. So 22 years in LA, 600 cruise ships, 2 million miles on American Airlines.
God.
I did Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Al Pacino. I did Charlie Wilson's War with Tom Hanks. I did a movie called Uncross the Stars with Barbara Hershey. Ron Perlman, I did a film with him. Just so many. I have 41 films on IMDb.
I gotta go
If you
look
go to-
at all these films.
If you go to IMDb and type in my name, it'll all come up, all the films I've done over the years.
Well, how did you get to Las Vegas?
So my wife works as well. She works for Cedars-Sinai, the hospital. And she had to make that drive every day. So she was spending 3 hours in the car.
Oh.
And she said, I really can't do this anymore. It's killing me. So they said, well, you can work from home. So she was able to work from home permanently and fully. So she'd never leave the house. But when we would go out, there'd be traffic. If I had to go somewhere, there'd be traffic. They were taking a ton of taxes out of her.
How did you get to Vegas?
Okay, so we sat down and she said, what do you want to do with your career? I said, well, I want to do stand-up. I still want to act. I said, so She said, well, Vegas is no taxes. I can work from home. They gave me the okay to work from home.
Good
And 10
girl.
10 states that she could work from home.
Yeah.
And Nevada was one of them. So she said, we can move to Las Vegas. So we sold our house, got a crazy price for it, and bought a house here. And we've been here since April.
Of this year?
Yeah, since April. And since then I've gotten here, I guess, I don't know, I'll be on the Bono show on the 29th of September. I have 2 agents, acting agents that I signed with. I still have a manager and an agent in LA, so I'm back and forth if there's acting. So I'm busy, and I'm doing stand-up around the country as well. So
Well, lucky us. We're so glad to have you.
that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I am so thrilled that you came and spent some time with us on our very first comedy show.
Well, it was my pleasure, really.
Well, welcome to Las Vegas.
Hey, it's
and
nice being here.
Enjoy yourself, because
Thank you
we
so much.
certainly do.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
What?
I'm going to go and get this kernel out of my...
And thank you.
I'm never going to clean these pants.
Oh,
They're never going to the dry cleaners. After that.
thank you so much for being here.
Well, thanks for having me.
I
Appreciate it.
saw you at the pass and I laughed my sides off.
Nothing else?
Had, well, I still have a big ass, so it's still there.
Oh, God.
But this is the voice. I mean, he can make you think there's a wave coming at you. This is the most interesting man. He's got a suitcase full of
A lot of stuff.
Things.
I got everything in there.
But what he sets it up on, I swear, he can be a trapeze artist. He can be an old man. There's so many things that you do. Where are you from originally?
I'm from the planet Earth. It's the 3rd planet.
Which is the first
Actually,
and second?
I was born in Italy.
Oh, really?
And I came here when I was 2. And my father just got out of the
Sicily
army.
or Naples?
My mother's from Trieste, and my father's from Sicily.
That's where the voice comes from.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So, and after the war, he was skiing down a hill and he saw my mother, and
And the rest
I
is
was in an
history.
accident, and they got married and came to New York, and he became a welder. I went to school, and to keep me out of trouble, he found a trumpet in the garbage. And he brought it home and he cleaned it and went out and bought a mouthpiece. He says, "You gonna play this?" I says, "I'm 60 years old, give me a trumpet." So, oh my God, what did I do? So my mother goes, "We gotta get him a teacher. So they got me a teacher, and I started practicing, and then I got good, I got better, but it kept me away from the gangs.
Yeah, yeah,
And the only way you made friends in the Bronx is you had to beat them up, so.
yeah, yeah.
And I started playing the trumpet, and I got hooked up with some jazz groups in Harlem.
Really?
Yeah, and some
You
groups.
had to be that good.
Yeah, I hung out with them, and I played with this guy Johnny Liello, who was a vibist, and Nick Domino was a drummer, and Gene Santini was a bass player. We had a little jazz group, and then I worked. I was 16. I was working for the mob at a place called the Bluebird Lounge. So I went to go get a ham sandwich, and I went in the back. What are you doing in there? They were tenderizing some guy's hand.
Oh
It
my
was one of
God.
those. So my father never knew, because I would say, I'm going over to Gene's house, going to sleep overnight, then go to school. But I had my suit there and the trumpet and.
But he wanted you to play trumpet.
Yeah, he wanted me to be a concert trumpet player.
Ah.
I didn't want to be a concert trumpet player. So he got mad. He found out I wasn't going to really go to school and study hard. I studied with Carmine Caruso, one of the best trumpet teachers in New York.
Oh my word.
And I didn't like it. I said, so he got mad. So he's all right. Now you're a plumber. So I went to Boris Tech. I studied technical drawing. And I went to plumbing school with the rest of the apprentices.
Oh God, I have a plumbing problem. You can come help me.
And I became actually a silver brazier with my partner, Bobby Adams. And we worked at the World Trade Center.
Oh my
And we
God.
used to doing 10-inch water lines for the towers, And I was bored. I couldn't stand being a plumber. They have the guys in the elevators with the radio and stuff. And I would always clown around. Like the guy would be talking to his buddy up there. And when he wasn't looking, I go, Tony, bring it up to 16. Okay. And he would bring the elevator over. What the hell you doing? Why is it on 16? So I started doing that. And by then I met my wife at a party. She was modeling at the time. Not runway, but she did newspapers. They hold the arrow and a bow. Yeah. So I met her at a party, and we kind of hit it off. Her sister fixed us up. And then I had my first daughter, Cindy, who is now an executive producer for a documentary. She's doing really great. And I'm getting old. I forgot what the hell I was talking about. What am I talking about? So, I was so bored. So my wife says, why don't you go to this club on Sunday nights? They got this comedy club. You should go down and try it out.
The women always get them involved.
Yeah. So I was bored. I had to do something. And I went down there, and I'm talking to this guy, Richard M. Dixon. He looked like Nixon. And he did. And he had the whole place looked like the president's office. It was called the White House Inn. There was people in there that became famous. Eddie Murphy,
Oh, I've heard of him.
Rosie O'Donnell, Jackie Martling, Rob Bartlett, who did a lot of plays in theater. He was on Imus in the Morning for years. A bunch of other people, and it was me. And I went in there, and I saw this show with Bob Nelson and all these other guys. I said, wow, this is amazing, So I started doing it, and I was bombing. I was terrible. I was like the worst. You could hear motorcycles go by while I'm doing my act there. So finally I told my wife, I says, I'm going to give it another month. And if not, I'm going to go back to the plumbing and just forget it. She said, no, you got it. Nah. So she comes with me. She wants to give me a little
Support.
Yeah, a little support. So I get out of the car, and my daughter's little hat falls down. A little ski mask hat with an open face on it. So I got it in my back pocket, and I'm bombing again. And some guy goes, what's that in your back pocket? And I pull it out. I go, it's a Polish bank robber. So I got a huge laugh, and I'm like, I'm going to my house. I got toilet paper. I got all kinds of stuff. And then Bob Nelson told me, he says, Bobby, who's a prop comic, he was on, that's my glasses. Is that my glasses? So does that feel good? No.
One of my favorites is the snot
See, you like that?
in the space.
I won $10,000 doing that. Yeah, America's Funniest People.
And-
America's Funniest People.
When
It was me or a llama. They had a llama in a tuxedo, and I'm going, oh, my friends are watching me. I'm going to lose to a llama.
When did you get on Saturday Night Live?
Well, that happened in '84. So I started working the clubs out there, and Bobby Nelson, who was a great prop comic, he would do the football routine. He did it on Tonight Show. Leon Wilson, number 72. No, 27. He would do stuff like that. So he told me, he says, you should be prop comic. I says, I don't know. He said, no, you should really be a prop comic. So I started doing that, and I started working. And the beauty of being out in Long Island with all of the other comics is we were doing comedy 5 nights a week. And I was doing 20-minute sets, half-hour sets. And in the city, you'd be lucky if you get a 5-minute set once a week. So we got all that experience. Then I went into the city, and I went to Catch a Rising Star. Rick Newman saw me, and he loved me. And Bill Maher goes, I discovered him. I looked at him, I said, yeah, right. Okay. So, but that's who was there with Richard Belzer, Gilbert Gottfried. Remember?
Oh,
I was
God,
talking
yes.
to God yesterday. You know, Gilbert Gottfried, so many other people, funny people. And I was just working out, doing my stuff. And Eddie, I had become friends with Eddie when we worked in Long Island. When he got Saturday Night Live, I went up to him. I gave him a big hug. And I don't know if the other guys were jealous or not, but I went up to him. I gave him a hug. I said, so happy one of our guys is going to make it big, you know. So I think he remembered that, you know. So they needed warm-up comic because he was doing 48 hours. So they sent me and 2 other comics to work the crowds because they were going to keep the same crowd. So they figured they'd keep these people. They won't have to change an audience. And Eddie could do 2 shows that week. That gives him time to do 48 hours, right? So the first 2 comics bomb. So I'm not going to get paid. I'm like, oh, God, man, there you go. $500 out the window. You know, I'm like, I'm all depressed. I'm in a corner, you know. And Eddie sees me, he goes, hey, Pace. He never calls me Frankie. He goes, hey, Pace, what are you doing here? He goes, well, I was supposed to warm up the crowd for you, but, you know, that's too bad, man. And he walked away. 4 minutes later, Dick Ebersol comes on and says, we're going to pay you for tonight. Wow. Hey, you know. And Eddie says, you're very funny, you know. I should come and see you. What do you want me to come and see you? Catch a Rising Star. You know? So we're down at Catch a Rising Star.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Bill Maher was the MC for that night that I wanted. So I had to con him. You know, I said, because if you tell them who's coming, forget it, you know. They'll all jump in, you know, trying to, you know. So I says, I got a big businessman. He owns 15 restaurants, you know. He's coming in. I really could use it. You know, and you'll get work too, you know. She goes, I don't know if I could put you on. I said, no, come on, really, you know, you'll get work. So he's okay. So it's like Monday night, 9:30 spot. He goes, all right, so where's your friend? Dick Ebersol walks in and goes, hi, Frankie, you ready to go on? Everybody went,
Ah!
so I went up, I did 20 minutes, and he loved it, you know. But he said, you got to do 5. I need you to do 5 minutes. So I said, okay. So I went around, my friend Mike Little, who lived in the city, he had an apartment and let me stay there. And we would go around and do the 5 minutes. Now I'm doing 5 minutes for like a month every night at these places, you know. And I can't get arrested with them. Nobody's answering my phone calls. Nobody's talking to me. They said they were going to use me. And one of the comics told me, he says, don't worry about it. It'll all work out. And sure enough, this kid was a young agent working for William Morris, Mark Petrarca. I says, Mark, if you can get them on the phone, maybe I'll get a shot. And he called up. I got a shot, right? So now they gave me a 12:50 spot. That's like, you know, that's like a dead end, you know. It's like, might as well not even be on the show, you know. I'm like, oh, man. So I brought my friend Barry. Barry was one of the head writers for Living Color. Big, heavy black dude. Good friend of mine. So we went there, and he said, hey, man, it'll be all right. Listen, you just take what you got, you know, it'll be cool, you know. I said, yeah, man, this is it, you know, show's going to be over. They turned the TV off at 12. So they had the group Madness, and I think these guys were high. something was wrong, man. They were off key. They weren't playing right. So they switched me. And
Oh.
they gave me the 1150 spot. And as I'm walking out, Barry goes, have fun, man. 25 million watching.
Oh my God.
So I did Saturday Night Live, and I'm here.
Oh my God. How
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh,
It was
this has been the best day of my life. I love comics and I love you.
great. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
I loved it. It was great. Nice crowd. Good show.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm Sam Shockley. This is Vegas Beyond the Strip.